BlackRock is the largest company you will ever come across. Yes, you heard it right. BlackRock is the world's most secretive company, yet powerful, and this company is discreetly pulling all the strings at the center of the world. Did you know that BlackRock is a company and you don't even know it? Apparently, the devil's great-grandson was convincing the world that he didn't exist. BlackRock Incorporated is the largest corporation you have probably never heard of, but right now it's making headlines. BlackRock was founded in 1988 in New York City by Larry Fink as a risk management and fixed income institutional asset manager. But you would be surprised to know that right now it's the world's largest asset manager with a portfolio worth $10 trillion. There is currently approximately $40 trillion in circulation worldwide, suggesting that BlackRock manages 1/4 of the world's money. Forget Tesla and Amazon. With their eccentric, spacefaring CEOs, BlackRock and its fairly mysterious CEO are the world's largest financial players. The question is, how did BlackRock become the world's biggest asset manager? And what does this mean for the current and future global economies? BlackRock is the world's most influential Wall Street fund, handling $9 trillion in assets. With the exception of China and the United States, this is greater than the gross domestic product of every single country on the planet. So why haven't you heard of BlackRock if it's so big? Even though they regulate far less money, large American banks such as JP Morgan, Chase, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup frequently make headlines. The truth is that you don't hear about BlackRock because it has large investments in major media companies, which would have informed you of its existence. BlackRock and Vanguard own a large portion of Graham Media Group, which owns Slate and Foreign Policy. They also have a 10 to 18% stake in CNN, CBS, Fox, Disney, Comcast, Gannett, and Sinclair Broadcast Group. These media conglomerates are international giants that own several major media outlets. Comcast, for example, owns Sky, NBC, CNBC, and MSNBC, whereas Disney owns ABC and the popular opinion polling website 538. Moreover, Gannett possesses over 250 newspapers, including USA Today, and Sinclair Broadcast Group owns 72% of local television channels in the United States. These huge investments in media companies allow BlackRock and Vanguard to not only stay out of the news, but also govern what gets into the news. BlackRock is one of the 3 biggest asset management firms for passive funds. One of them is Vanguard, the largest shareholder in the custodian bank, State Street, which is owned by BlackRock. It appears that all paths lead to BlackRock. Vanguard is BlackRock's major shareholder. It has an exceptional structure that makes determining ownership more difficult, but Vanguard funds can be linked to many of the world's oldest and wealthiest families. While BlackRock and Vanguard shape the global media landscape, BlackRock's secret weapon, call it Aladdin, is an advanced trading algorithm that has been transforming global markets for decades. Several colleagues founded the innovative technological program, which is estimated to manage more than $21.6 trillion in assets. The Asset, Liability, Debt, and Derivative Investment Network, Aladdin, is an acronym for a program that implements an estimated 250,000 trades per day. Aladdin performs trades across every asset class and industry and directs the Federal Reserve and nearly every major U.S. bank. It has a stake in more than half of all ETFs, 17% of the bond market, and 10% of the stock market. It picks up data points on every market, company, and asset, and then uses machine learning to determine which trades to implement in less time than it takes your brain to send an electrical signal through your nervous system to your fingers. Aladdin's network comprises approximately 5,000 supercomputers that now function as the central nervous system for the world's most advanced investors and asset managers. Remember how we said BlackRock has $10 trillion in assets under management? In reality, thanks to Aladdin, it may have control over twice that amount. No, not the one from Arabian Nights, but BlackRock's financial analysis software. In 1993, BlackRock released the first version of Aladdin to help it compare changes in the stock it was managing. Aladdin has evolved and is now the financial management software of choice for several large companies, asset managers, and multinationals with $20 trillion in assets under management. That is 10% of all financial assets in the world, or 4 times the amount of money in the world. $20 trillion is greater than China's GDP and equal to the United States GDP. Surprisingly, Vanguard and State Street are both frequent users of BlackRock's Aladdin. If Aladdin's network is hacked, the global economy could suffer immediate and catastrophic consequences. The monopoly created by this algorithm is the more eternal issue. BlackRock largely rents out its patented technology to the highest bidders in the world, primarily large hedge funds and mega banks. This paradigm disadvantages smaller investors and allows corporations like BlackRock and Vanguard to direct the economic system as they see fit. As soon as BlackRock appears as one of your shareholders, your company stands out from the crowd and gains a certain prestige. When you're Larry Fink, you can speak as equals with the director of the IMF or the World Bank, said Gregoire Favette, host of the BFM Business TV show. When the global financial crisis struck, Aladdin was summoned by every major bank, the heads of Federal Reserve, and the United States Treasury. The United States government assigned Aladdin the task of evaluating which assets to keep and which to sell at Bear Stearns costs, a New York-based global investment bank, securities trading, and brokerage firm that performed poorly in 2008 and was later sold to JP Morgan Chase. Aladdin's success is almost single-handedly attempting to prevent a global financial collapse, which has earned it a renowned place among the world's governing bodies. Aladdin was given a carte blanche to decide what to do with the $2 trillion printed following the end of the Great Recession. Also, in 2017, Fink launched Monarch, a new project at BlackRock that replaced many of the firm's fund managers with algorithms. According to Investopedia, robots now execute more than 70% of all stock market trades in the United States. BlackRock and its all-powerful algorithms' influence cannot be overstated. As of 2021, at least 3 BlackRock executives hold significant positions in President Joe Biden's cabinet. Biden named BlackRock executive Brian Deese to head the National Economic Council, and Adewale Adeyemo, the former chief of staff to BlackRock's CEO, is the Treasury Department's top official. Home prices in the United States have been rapidly rising in recent years, and we have blamed everything for the increase. Everything except asset managers such as BlackRock. Why? Because in 2021, BlackRock was exposed for purchasing multiple homes and in many cases entire neighborhoods and renting them out. And it wasn't targeting multi-family apartments built for rent. Instead, it concentrated on single-family homes, which are the preferred property type among American homebuyers. As a result, housing has become prohibitively expensive, forcing families to rent the homes they would have usually purchased. The larger issue, however, is that the sudden increase in home prices encourages investors to borrow money to build family homes, which they will be unable to sell because, once again, they're marked up. As a matter of fact, there will always be a housing bubble, and as an outcome, a recession. Recently, protesters barged BlackRock's New York headquarters on October 26, 2022, chucking globs of coal inside and chanting "Stop funding climate death" and "Climate justice now." The company recently resisted a parliamentary committee in the United Kingdom by refusing to halt investments in coal, oil, and gas. In response to the United Kingdom's request, the asset manager stated that its role was not to engineer a specific decarbonization outcome in the real economy. 10 people were arrested after talking to the picket line to protest BlackRock's decision. An activist group named New York Communities for Change posted clips and photos of the protest with the hashtag #TaxTheRich and a call for green housing for all. There is no doubt that BlackRock, this mysterious company, has raised a lot of questions and rumors in recent times. Is the company keeping the public blinded? With so much power in the economy of the world, and that too for more than 30 years, it's just amusing to wait and watch the power that it will show in the upcoming years. That being said, what do you think about the BlackRock company? How much control do they actually have over the global economy? Comment down below and keep watching for more insightful content.